Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If today is your first time here, my name is Adebola Ademola. I'm an executive virtual assistant and a virtual assistant coach. Here on this channel, I help you master the tools, strengths, and skills, then strategies that will help you succeed in your virtual assistant journey. So right now we're in the week 2 of the executive virtual assistant series, and I'm super excited to have you for today's class. So sit back and enjoy. Welcome back, welcome back, everyone. So last week we built the foundation. We spoke about the identity of an executive virtual assistant. We spoke about the mindset and presence of an executive VA. We also learned what separates a $5 per hour virtual assistant from maybe an a $50 per hour or $100 per hour executive virtual assistant. So this week we're moving from the theory to execution. Like we're going hands-on with the actual systems, tools, and daily operations that make you indispensable as an executive virtual assistant. And I want to assure you that by the end of today's section, you will know exactly how to manage your executive calendars like a strategic, partner that you have. You know how to, handle inboxes like a decision maker. You know how to you master the tech stack that powers modern businesses and help them build systems that create order from chaos. So, and this is definitely where the competence meets the confidence. Last week we spoke about, mindset, identity, and all of those things. Those are the things that will give you confidence. The knowledge of those things will give you the confidence to be able to say that, okay, I'm an executive virtual assistant, you get. But this week we're talking about, those tech stack and tech stacks basically, and these are what will give you that competence. So like when you've been spoken to, when they finally hire you, can you perform the job? Can you get the job done? So these things will help you. These things will help you to, be competent, you get. And this is where you become the person an executive can't even, function without. So let's move. Let's move. So last week we stopped at module 4. Yeah. So this week, so now module 5, we'll be talking about executive calendar and time management systems. What we basically know is calendar management as a virtual assistant, but now I want to talk about calendar management as an executive virtual assistant. And we're starting with what most people think they already know. Yes, most of us think we already know all of calendar management systems and all of that. But the truth is that if you are just scheduling meeting into like open slots and you're just doing it for as a VA, yeah, that is not how you would carry it out as calendar management as an administrative virtual assistant or a customer support VA, or like a VA in any, what was it called, is different at the executive level. As an executive VA, calendar management seems to be much more strategic. It's much more. Okay, now we're moving to executive calendar and time management systems. That is module 5. And we're starting with what most people think they already know. That is calendar management. Most people think, okay, I already know how to, manage calendar and all, but it's actually different at the executive level. And executive calendar management is, much more strategic. It is actually much more strategic. Executive calendar management is about protecting what matters most and ruthlessly eliminating what does not for your C-suite executive. So now we're moving to understanding executive priorities. I mean, there are a lot of priority levels. So you need to be able to actually understand executive priority levels. So we have three levels, which are strategic, important, and operational. Strategic are, these are tasks that are critical and require immediate attention. Like it requires the immediate attention of the executive. And this kind of tasks are board meetings, investor calls, product launch, or maybe like a major decision that affects the entire direction of the business. So you know that these are strategic priority levels, and you know that, okay, you are helping your executive create the most value out of these tasks. Then the second tier is the importance, and these are basically tasks that support team leadership, making major decisions like, staffs, hiring staffs, building client relationship, or maybe there's a planning or a budgeting. And what you should know about this priority level is that it requires the attention of the executive himself or herself. Then we have the third level, which is the operational. And these are just routine tasks and administrative meetings that keeps the daily operation running smoothly. So we have the strategic, we have the important, and we have the operational. So right now, we move to time blocking by energy level. Time blocking by energy level is basically about how to, actually structure your executive's calendar. Yeah, in the sense that you don't just, create or block calendars. You design those, like you design their time for peak performance. You design their time for peak performance. So you already know that in the morning is actually ideal for deep work, which I feel happens to everybody. When you wake up in the morning, you wake up so refreshed. You can even take on the whole world, you get. So you put complex tasks in the morning when the energy levels are still highest for maximum productivity. While in the afternoon, you can schedule meetings, say like maybe there is a hiring process going on. You can schedule the interview in the afternoons. I want to check if there is nothing I am missing out. Yeah, so you schedule, things that would not require so much energy level. You schedule them to afternoon. And evening can be for admin time, emails, approvals, or maybe planning for the next day. So it's very important that you know the time blocking by energy levels. Don't go and put something that is less relevant in the morning. Like you are waking up to start planning. You like it is a brand new day, and the first thing on your executive's schedule is that you want to plan for the next day. No, you've not even done the work for that day. So you put, ideal work. You block that time. You block the morning for ideal deep work that will tackle complex tasks and those other things. Yeah. So, and last week I think I spoke about, meeting blocks, transition times, deep work blocks, where I said when you're blocking meetings, you batch similar meetings. So maybe there is a consultation, put all consultations in the morning or in the afternoon. Don't put one consultation in the morning, another one in the afternoon, and another one in the evening. Put them all together. Put them all together. That's you blocking that particular time frame, or like the particular time of the day for that particular thing. There's a hiring process going on. Don't scatter the interviews. Put them together. Put them together. So those things actually help your executive stay focused and um maintain focus, basically. Maintain focus. Yeah. So let's let's move on. Let's move on. So we have different type of block types, which have you would bear with me that have been mentioning it. We have the deep work, which is focused sessions dedicated to complex tasks that require full concentration and minimal distraction. So you put deep works in the morning. Deep works in the morning. We have meetings, and we have meeting block, and we also have transition time. So meeting blocks are like, when you batch similar meetings and, all of that. I don't want to dwell so much on this because I believe that explained it explicitly in the last class. So we don't need to like dwell so much. Or maybe if you have any question, something that is not clear, I can definitely attend to it. So scheduling across time zones. This is one thing that I know that it comes so difficult at first. It was difficult for me in the beginning, yeah. And trust me, you're not the only person. This trips up a lot of new executive virtual assistants. Time zone, time zone. Wow. You are going to like but I'm not trying to like scare you. It's just about you knowing those time zones. And there are quite a number of tools. Maybe when I'll drop the link to a video that I made. I'll drop the link on in the chat box like now, so that you can see different websites you can use to check time zones. And if you have an iPhone, you have your word clock feature on iPhone. That is what I use. But if you don't, there are websites that can do that for you. So if your executive is working with global teams or international clients, you need to become fluent. Yes, you need to become fluent with time zone mathematics. And I mean instinctive, not just let me check a converter. At a point in time, as a beginner, of course, you need a converter and all of that. But at a point in time, you should already be able to like um you should already become so conversant with it. Someone like me now, I have somebody that works in that that stays in North Carolina. I already know that when when we're in the night, when maybe I'm about to retire to go and sleep or something, that is their whole afternoon. That is when work is going on. What does that mean? I should not go and be sleeping at that point in time. And you have to be able to tilt. I'm talking in two ways now. Yeah, I'm talking in two ways. Maybe as an executive virtual assistant, you have a client that is abroad. Or maybe as an executive VA, your boss, the person you are working with, has someone that is abroad. So it applies on both. You get. So you should be able to, at a point in time when you are now, you should be able to, okay, by this time, you don't even need to always run to the converter. By this time, this is the time my clients this is what they are doing presently. This is, don't use your own time. Don't use your own time to, help them deep block, or maybe schedule meetings or anything. You have to be able to master their own um their own time zone. And there is something thoughtful you can do. If you have recurring meetings with people in inconvenient time zones, rotate the timing quarterly. Don't make the person in Asia take every call at 2 a.m. You should, be able to share the burden, like just take early call. So finally, document time zone preference for each stakeholder. I said that at a point in time, you should be able to know that, okay, this is when this person wakes up, this is when this person. So people are early risers and don't mind a call at 7 a.m. or like, but people are not. So you should be able to adjust, irrespective of, okay, you are in GMT +1 or West African time, should be able to adjust. Global coordination is part of the job that you actually got hired for. So you have to master it. You have to master it. You have to master it. So meeting management circle phases. So now let's walk through the complete life cycle of a meeting, because there is a lot more to this than, just putting something on the calendar. So let's say before the meeting, say like 24 to 48 hours in advance, you have to send an agenda. I feel like I am repeating myself because these are the things I spoke about it one way or the other in the previous class. So you have to be able to send an agenda in advance. It is not the day of the meeting that you now start sending, or maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, at least 2 days ahead, so that others can also prepare. Don't just also send meeting agendas. You should prepare a briefing document for your executive with context, something relevant data, background of maybe participants. Let's say it is a hiring process or something, and open questions that needs to be resolved. So if it is an important meeting, schedule a 15-minute prep call with your executive the day before to align on objectives and strategies. This cannot be overemphasized. And during meetings, someone needs to be taking notes. Obviously, you have to take notes, because we are capturing three things together: the decision that we made, action items with, clear owners and deadlines, and packing lots items, things that came up or weren't resolved. So while you are in a meeting, you should look out for three different things. You take the meeting minutes, take the action, the call to actions. For every meeting, there's a call to action. Maybe somebody has to submit something, or somebody has to, that is the call to action, like the next step. So you should take you should take you should also put that into writing. Then the last is, also put to writing things that came up and they were not resolved, like one way or the other. There was a suggestion and it was not agreed upon, and nothing was also agreed upon. So you have to take them down because of further meetings. Then after the meeting, send meeting notes within 24 hours. Don't wait till like 2 or 3 days, or maybe a day to the next meeting before you start sending meeting minutes. You send it within 24 hours and you format clearly. Let's know what is the decision made, what is the action items, what is who is doing this, what is this, when are they doing it, summaries, like next steps. Make sure those are like post-meeting tasks that you have to do. Make sure they are carrying everything. Make sure they are carrying everything. Protecting focus time. And this is one of the most important things you will do as an executive virtual assistant. It's hard because it requires you to say no to a lot of people. So as an executive VA, you will not just help your clients or your your executive in, so to say, to like block time or to like, schedule or help them with how they actually use their time on something that is productive. You will also have to say no to people. And what do I mean by that? Let me explain. So maybe there's somebody that's been trying to see them. The person did not book an appointment. The person is just badged in, or maybe the person had even used the Calendly link to book an appointment and all of that. But in a way, your executive has to do something. Maybe at that same time, you have to be able to say no. Yeah. You have to able to say no. You're not going to be rude. You're not going to be inconsiderate. But because of the fact that you are helping them to protect their time, so you will have to say no to some people. And another thing that is important that you do is that you define the things that you say no to with your executive. So it's just like, okay, if there's an emergency or something, what should I do? That is how the conversation or the question will come. So you just ask them, what should I do when you are working? Maybe it's deep work and somebody wants to talk to you. You get. So you should be able to have that conversation with them. Oh, maybe they now tell you, oh, if the person is my wife, or if it is an emergency from my mom or my dad, if it is this, if it is that, you cannot say no to them. You can, let them see me irrespective of whatever I am doing. So you should be able to define that as well. So now we're in module 6, which is inbox management. I hope I've been able to do justice to that. Do you have any question? You can drop your questions in the chat box. I would attend to them. So now let's move to module 6. And in module 6, we'll be talking about, inbox and communication management. In module 5, we spoke about calendar and time management. But now we're talking about inbox and communication management. So now we've established that calendar management is about protecting time, but inbox management is actually about protecting attention, because email is where focus goes to. So an average executive gets, like, not exaggeration, an average C-suite executive get like 150 to 200 emails per day. Yes. And if they are reading and responding to all of them, they are not doing the executive work. They are being reactive. So if they decide to, start replying to all of those emails themselves, they're just being reactive since you've decided not to. So your job now is to make sure only the emails that truly needs their attention reach them. We spoke about it last week. So that is where you move the ones that need to be deleted or archived, you move it there. The ones that are important, you move it to important. The ones that are urgent, you can create labels and, name it urgent. The ones that are urgent, you move it into urgent file. So when they are opening their email, it is easy peasy. They already know, okay, this one, they're important. I have to attend to it. This one's a archive or in the spam or something. I don't need it. I don't even need to open them. So that is what inbox management is. That is what you get to carry out as an executive virtual assistant. So inbox 0 for executives. Inbox 0 for executive. I'm sure that you've heard about it, of course. There's no way you've undergone any virtual assistant class or training that you've not heard about inbox 0 philosophy. And I want you to get something that is not just about having an empty inbox. It's about every email being processed to completion. Hear that again. It's not about, oh, the inbox is on 0, so this person knows his or her job. It's about the fact that every email is processed well. What do I mean by every email is processed well? As the email is coming, okay, it is an email from Access Bank. It's definitely going to archive, or it's going to the spam, or you delete it off and you unsubscribe, because they don't need those kind of emails. Does not need to get to the executive. Another example of such emails is maybe any of your subscription, maybe Netflix, Prime, or even your AI their AI, or the AI you're using, obviously. Subscription got, exhausted. It does not have to reach them. You delete it away. You just make sure that, okay, you call their attention to the fact that, okay, this subscription has now expired. We need to renew it. It does not have to get to them. So that is exactly what inbox zero is. It's not that, okay, because I have zero. Your email is actually arranged. The email of your executive is actually arranged well. It is arranged well. Email featuring and rules. So, I love that this what's it called is after we explained inbox zero. So you know how I was saying you can create urgent filters or labels, important, all of those things, you can create them. So email filtering is basically organizing emails into different categories: important, urgent, operations. You might even put on and put their name. Maybe it's a personal thing. I've worked with somebody that he uses just one email for everything. So as you're saying work emails, you're also seeing emails for maybe his children or his wife or his relative. He loves to communicate through mail, and his relative have actually agreed to it. So even if they want to ask for 5 naira, they will send an email to him. We get. So we should be able to categorize them. Don't leave email from his wife in important. It's definitely important, but you can create maybe a label. Of course, not even maybe. You can create a label and name it family, or you put my wife. Like just put something there, and you move the email of his wife to that particular label. You get. So that is what email filtering and rules. You can also use color coding. Color coding is just you changing the icon of the filter or the label to a particular color, just to, for me, I use color coding a lot, and that is because I just get so attracted, and I'm like seeing colors excites me. So I put colors on most of the things that I do. Uh, executive, let me see if this thing has not jumped. Okay, we're still there. Executive voice checklist. So here we'll be talking about how to draft responses in executive voices. And one of the most valuable skills you can develop is writing. Is writing in your executive voice so well. One of the major skills, one of the most important thing that should be on your to-do list as you are an executive virtual assistant, or maybe you are looking to becoming one, is being able to actually write in your executive voice. So people don't even know the difference. They don't even know that, oh, this person has an executive assistant that is working with her. You get. So you should be able to communicate in their tone, know the length of their emails, like do they write long paragraph or short bullet? Are they verbose? Like do they like using all those big grammars? Are they usually concise? Some people sure you know that I am a girl that will take just one line. They can write it and it will take like 10 pages. So if your executive is someone like that, and you say I am a girl, don't just put that I am a girl there like that. Look at how you can, write in their tone. Yeah. The next one is tone. Is your executive formal or conversational? Do they use maybe dear or sweetheart. So there are actually some people like that. They use weird words that you are just surprised that why in the work area, why are you get? And they might even not mean any harm, but make sure you actually study all of those things. Is it that your client, when he or she wants to start his mail, is going to say, hope this email meets you well? Yes, it is as tiny as that. So you have to be able to be consistent. Be consistent. If your executive uses hello dear, when you are writing an email on his behalf, put hello dear to start it. That is basically what I am saying. That is basically what I am saying about executive voice checklist. So make sure that is also checked, that I know how to talk the way or how I handle things the way my executive would actually love to handle it. Next slide. Decision matrix for messages. So this is basically you knowing when to respond, when to flag, when to escalate, or when to ignore. It's a decision framework that guides everything that you do with your email. So you should know when you handle something independently, or when you get involved, or when you get to involve the executive. You have to know all of those things. Decision matrix. You have to. So let's say you want to respond independently, like taking action on messages that require no further discussion or approval from any other person. That is where I mentioned something earlier. I spoke about it in a way. That's just you knowing the things that requires their immediate attention. If there are not things that require, please, you don't even have to look at it twice. Yes, you don't have to look at it twice. So you should be able to master this decision matrix. Is it the right time to answer? Do I need to answer this? Do I wait for my executive to come to, answer, and all of those things? So that's that about decision matrix. Now we'll go to managing multiple communication channels. Do you know that email is not the only communication channel you'll be managing? Yeah. Most executive, they juggle emails, WhatsApp, text messages, Teams, Slack, name it. They juggle it all. They juggle it all. And you know that each serve a different purpose. All of these things. I might decide that my WhatsApp, for me now, there are some things that, okay, it's only WhatsApp. There are some things that is only Telegram. There are some things that, oh, it is YouTube. I am much more convenient to post these things. So you should know those things as well. You should be able to manage their communication channel. Some people will even tell you, I have worked with somebody that told me, don't message me on WhatsApp. Message me on, what did you used to do? We used to use Bitrix 24. Bitrix 24 is a project management tool. So that is where we have all our conversation. It does not like WhatsApp chats at all. That time, I'm not sure he actually likes emails too. It does not. So I usually just stick to Bitrix 24, BITRIX 24. You might want to, check it out. It's also a project management tool. It's also a project management tool. So you might ask, okay, so what are the best practices? What should I do? Number one is that you establish clear channel with the team. So you call your team together. This is not even about your executive. You call the team together. Okay, which one is convenient? Is it WhatsApp? Is it Instagram? Make sure you do that. That's number one, next step. Number two is that you monitor all channels during working hours. That's it. You start moving. Most of us, we do it the way we just doom scroll on Instagram or doom scroll on TikTok or all of those things. Bring that energy to being an executive VA as well. Make sure you check all of the communication channels that, okay, there is nothing you're actually missing out. Another thing and another best practice is that you batch non-urgent notification. So don't interrupt your executive every time a Slack message arrives. Ah, sir, you have a message. Don't, don't, don't. We've spoken about batch. So you can batch if there are maybe 2 or 3 or 4 similar things, batch them together. Batch them together. I never interrupt for non-urgent items. Just because someone sent a Slack message does not mean it's urgent. You get? So some of us might even say, because we don't use WhatsApp, I'm not even expecting that my executive is going to message me from there, or maybe a team member or anybody. What if they message you and you did not see the message till like 4 or 5 days after? Does that even portray you well as an executive VA? Because, well, or don't even let me go to executive. Does that portray you as a virtual assistant? Because what most of us say is, oh, I will help you to, take off stress. I'll help you to manage your email. And you've not even managed yourself. You get? So different channels, but the same discipline. None is less, none is more. It's still the same. It's the same principle. So now we'll move to module 7. Module 7. We'll be talking about tools and tech stack for executive virtual assistants. So now we've basically spoken about the system and the mindset. Now we'll just move to the tools. And for this session, I'm going to be very opinionated because I've seen what works, not just for me, or let me even personalize it. A lot of tools have worked for me. A lot. So I'll just, put you through, mention those tools, and, we move from there. And I can also just drop a link as well again in the comments box. You are going to see, I made a post, I think yesterday or 2 days ago or something, about the tools I use that help me stay productive. So I'll just, attach the link in that, in the chat box. So I drop on the group or in the classroom. Yeah, so, and one thing we should also know here is that you don't need to master every tool that exists. You don't. You are going to actually learn on the job. Just know the basics. You get? So you don't need to know everything. You just need to master the right ones, the ones that will make your job, it will now look like, okay, this person did not just start being an executive VA. He or she has been. Meanwhile, you're just starting. But because of your level of expertise, it cannot be differentiated. You get? So number 1 is Google Workspace. Google Workspace. I might be dropping the link. There is a video on my YouTube channel that I explained all of the Google Workspace. Yes, it is there. I explained them in details. So Google Workspace is one tool that you don't even want to sleep on it. Google Workspace has various Google apps, and they are Google Doc, Google Spreadsheet, Google Map. Well, maybe if you might not need a map, like Google Map, Google Drive, Gmail, what else? Google Form, etc. So that is, what Google Meet as well. That's the communication tool for Google. I think recently I even saw Google videos you can edit as well. So those are that's our number 1 tech stack, which is Google Workspace. And I would beg us to please go through the link I dropped, or I'll be dropping in the comment section, just to actually sit down with those Google apps and master them well. The next is project management tools. Project management tools. There are actually a lot out there. There are a lot. We have Trello, we have Asana, we have ClickUp. That Beatrix 24 is also part of it. Yeah. So there are a lot of project management. So there is also a video that spoke about Trello in details. I might just be adding some, other videos as well to hit. Just make sure you stay glued to the classroom. You stay glued to the classroom because I'll be dropping a lot of things back to back there. So project management tools are also there. Trello, where you have different boards, cards, power-ups and all of that. So I have Asana, we have ClickUp. So there, there are a video I'm going to be using to actually back up all of these things. If I say I should start going into them, number one, I won't be able to explain because those are much more practical, you get. So I'm enjoying you, like I'm begging us all to watch any video that I have attached to the lessons. Is very important. So the next is CRM basics. For this, there is also a video that I actually made. I didn't even know that we'll have to still go about all of these things, where I spoke in details about it. This is for executive virtual assistants that their clients are into maybe a product. So your part of your work is also to be a customer support person. So you can use HubSpot rather, and you can use Airtable. There is also an Airtable video on my channel. So just marry my channel. Everything that you need to scale is there. Trust me. Even if it's not there, maybe it is in the pipeline. Loads of videos you get. So that's for CRM. Understanding CRM systems like HubSpot and Airtable is crucial for executive virtual assistants. No capping, like you have to know it because these tools help manage clients' relationship and streamline documentation processes. Its effective use of the system supports operational efficiency, ensuring that important information is easily accessible and organized. These tools are like they are everything that you need because you don't have to do anything manually again. It's help you to track contacts, help you track companies, help you track interactions, help you, make your life very easy. Help you, impute what's it called? Oh, and I remember it now. What is fit? I forgot. Okay, it helps you document your projects excellently. Like you don't have to, when your projects are like on your on what's it called? On Hateable or the other one, you don't have to even everything is there. Everything is there. And one thing we should also notice that these tools can be integrated into one and another. I think that's like another class entirely where we talk about automations. They are just, tools that have been put in place to help you stay organized, help you stay efficient. You don't have to do anything manually. Yes. So that is that. Password security best practices. This also cannot be overemphasized. I have a video on it about cyber security and all of that. I would also attach. Effective password management is crucial for protecting sensitive information. Utilize password managers to create secure, unique password for each account. And you should also enable two-factor authentication and regularly update password to enhance security and prevent unauthorized access to valuable data. This is also one thing that is very important as an executive VA. You should be able to maintain high confidentiality. If you don't, I mentioned something in the last class that I've worked with somebody that made me sign an NDA of $10,000. I mean, even if my mouth wants to start saying things that they did not send it, because I've signed that kind of thing, I'll know that let me behave myself. How much more? You don't even have to sign an NDA before you know that the person you are working with deserves that confidential. Like, in the first place, if they don't trust you, they are not going to hire you. So you should not breach that trust with disloyalty or dishonesty. So it goes as far as their passwords as well. I can't imagine you having the password to, maybe you are an e-commerce virtual assistant, and you were told to upload products and all of that. But because you have access to the back end and all of that, you, in a way, one way or the other, the website got hacked or anything, you are the number one suspect. I hope you know, because you were the one that. So we have to be able to keep that. We should keep that password security best practices. It is non-negotiable. Password, though, secret about their business or secret about them, or let's say, for instance, I might mention that there are some people that they use just one email and their family members will even be sending them emails. So let's say you now got privy to a particular information through the email that was sent. You now start publicizing it. The person will sue you, and there is nothing you are going to do about it. That's the it's not the well, it is the bitter truth. That's the truth. You are going to be sued. So let's make sure we we don't breach that trust. So we're moving to um but before we actually move to module 8, let me also talk about documentation and SOP creations. And as executive virtual assistant, you're going to be doing that a lot, especially creating standard operating procedures. That's SOP. You're going to be doing it a lot. We are going to be doing it a lot. So when you're creating an SOP, you should include these 6 different elements that I will be stating. Number one is purpose. You should have a purpose. Why does this tax matter? What breaks if we don't do it? Is there a law or a policy or anything that will be broken if we actually don't do it? That's number one. Number two is frequency. Like, why does this tax even matter? Why should I even do it? Sorry, I said frequency, not purpose. Frequency, you should have, like, okay, is it daily? Is it monthly? Is it weekly? Is it bi-weekly? You should be able to. The third element is trigger. What initiates the task? Is it end of the month? Is it maybe a client that is requested for it? Is it like a normal tradition? Should be able to answer that as well, the trigger. Then the steps, you should have a detailed walkthrough with screenshots. Make it so clear that anybody that actually need anybody that gets to maybe want to do it, or you know wants to, sorry, I'm trying to put my thoughts together. So maybe the person, irrespective of who you are writing that SOP to, they should be able to understand it. As they are seeing it, they are already, okay, this is what she wants me to do. This one. Don't confuse them with things that are not relevant. So you have to be able to put the text, like the detailed walkthrough of of the SOP. Then resources, let's say links to templates, tools needed, access required, who to ask if there are questions. It should also be in standard operating procedure. Then success criteria. How do you know it is done correctly? What is the output? What does good work look like? So um, these are the 6, is it 6? Yes, 6 elements that a standard operating procedure should have. Let me go over it again. Purpose, frequency, trigger, steps, resources, and success criteria. So now we're moving to module 8, where we talk about system thinking for executive support. System thinking for executive support. This is just us talking about the strategic layer that lies or that, ties everything all together, which is, having a working system, having an excellent working system, turning chaos to order. That is basically what systems help us with. They turn chaos to order. And this also is about, having systems in place is about building processes that create consistency, reliability, um, um, what's this word now? Authenticity. Yes. Creating systems that would help their business actually scale. So that will bring me to moving to this next slide, which is building repeatable workflows. And the first time you do something, you're figuring it out. The second time, you are confirming if the approach you actually used is okay. The third time, you should be documenting the process so it becomes repeatable. So you're not just creating workflows, building systems or anything. You are building something that is sustainable. Irrespective, you are leaving that person or you are still there or anything. Don't be selfish. Build something that is highly sustainable, something that can be repeated, something that when you are no longer there, maybe you've gained a promotion or anything, the person that the what's it called is being handled to or handed over to will be able to take on from where you stop. Why? Because you have built a working system. You have built a working system. You have built a working system. So now what I didn't even know that I was still going to talk about SOPs. So creating standard operating procedures, they are very essential for efficient delegation and support because they're all about providing um, clear guidelines for recurring tasks, ensuring consistency and accountability. So there are some SOPs that they are like checklists, yes. So you can you can create a weekly checklist, you can create a monthly or even daily. I've worked with someone before that. I think that was even my first client. So he had allergies. Then he was battling with something, not a terminal disease or anything, but like he has, he's not so strong, yeah. So part of what I do for him, I created an SOP, a checklist, a daily checklist. Okay, 30 minutes walk, breakfast, drugs, all of those things. We created it, and I make sure that every day I wake up, I tell him, okay, have you done this? Have you done the ones he has done? We'll tick it off. The ones he has not done, and we ensure that he actually does it. So that is like typically what creating an SOP is. Creating something that like even when you are not there, maybe you're on break or anything, because you've gotten all of those things, because you've gotten them in place, like they are somewhere. Your executive just goes to it and they check through it. They do their work even while you are not there. So you see why it is very important that you actually create SOPs, especially for recurring tasks. What are recurring tasks? Tasks that you do every day. Tasks that you do every day. Yeah. So that is what's creating an SOP for recurring tasks looks like. Managing tasks and deadlines. Managing tasks and deadlines. And as an executive VA, yeah, I used to tell my students something that it's not about you helping them manage that alone. See to it that it's just like you having a goal. The way we enter 2026 is that everybody's writing their goals. When you land a client, see to it that you are helping them move forward, not backward. If there's a task to be completed, or maybe there's a deadline or something, your number one job as a VA hired is to make sure that they don't um they don't go past that deadline. Like a deadline, they've already maybe done the task or something. And you know, I was saying it earlier that okay, I'm talking into. So it's either you help them, you make sure that okay, maybe they've told you they will eventually get to do that themselves. Fine, make sure they get to do it. And if it is like if it is you that you're supposed to carry out the task, make sure you also carry it out. Make sure you also carry it out. Make sure you have all the tasks like written down. So how you might ask me, how can I do this? First is that you need a single system of record, not three different tools, because there are a lot of us who are funny. We want to use ClickUp, we want to use Asana, we want to use Trello. You get confused. You can use one. In that one, you can create different profiles for different clients that you are working with. If that is what is maybe a shortcoming to you, that I don't know how to go about having different profiles for my clients. So that is why I end up using ClickUp. I'll use Asana, I'll use Trello as well. So you have one, you don't have to scatter it here everywhere. You should also capture tasks from all sources. Let's say meeting notes, email, Slack, casual conversations, all of those things. Make sure you capture your brain, it has to be working. Make sure you have all those tasks in a single file. In a single file. And in order to get the tasks done, you have to set reminders, realistic reminders. So when something is assigned, you send a confirmation at, maybe you've started the project, the task or something, at maybe middle means like when you are almost done with the task, you check the process, like you are in on everything. You are in on everything. And if there is an issue, you escalate. I mentioned last week that don't lie. Don't try to cover up things. Escalate when it is beyond your control. Trust me, at the end of the day, it might not now be something that maybe why you don't want to escalate it then is because you feel they're going to say, you are the one that you did this, like you'll be scolded or like you'll be queried for doing that. There are sometimes that it does not even go that way. There are sometimes that the executive already know the end point. They just want you to go and, maybe try your own expertise and see if you can get it done or not. So please escalate. Don't try to cover things up. Escalate. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. So, this is basically this slide now. I think I'll just have to take my time to explain so that we can all understand. So, becoming the single truth, the single source of truth is just this is the pinnacle of an executive support. And why I say that is because you become the central nervous system of the operation. You know how CNS is like what is holding all of us, holding your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears together to function well together. So at a point in time, you are going to become that for your executive. So when, let's just now say somebody asks you for the status of a particular thing, or what's it called? Or like the status of something, they're asking you something, they're asking you for about the tax or the situation of the tax or who somebody is. You don't say, sorry, let me check, I'll come back. You are going to, on your feet, you are giving them response. On your feet, you are giving them response. So when you reach that level, trust me, your executive will already know that this person, I'm done for life. Like I don't have to um I don't have to worry if I am not there. So what that you might ask, okay, so what can help me achieve this? And I'm not sure this musical is complete here. What can help me achieve, being able to think on my feet, being able to find solution on my feet, being able to, be spot on. Number one is project tracker. You should have a comprehensive document to monitor progress, deadlines, responsibilities, name it, the status, the owner, maybe the next milestone attached to that particular document or project. You should have a project tracker that has it. Number two is meeting schedule. All upcoming important meetings with prep status should be, you know, should be should be scheduled properly so that you don't get to, what we're talking about now is how do you become this person? How do you become this flawless if there is a flawless? But like, how do you become this efficient executive virtual assistant? I said number one is that you should have a project tracker. Number two is meeting schedule. You should be able to have a centralized calendar that outlines everything, every meeting, everything, every clarity call, every whatever your executive needs, like scheduling for. There should be something centralized, like a centralized calendar that has it all for them. Then decision log. And this is just, okay, what was decided, when, by who, or even why it was actually decided. Then you should also have a document that has the contact base. So numbers, emails, or even relationships. You can even put how we met so that you get to understand how exactly you met and why they are why they have your, what's it called, why you have them on your contact database. So you should have that document as your contact database. Then the next one is having like a call to action, like a next step master list. Like, okay, we've done this so task, but that is not the end of it. What is the next step? Make sure you have a document, a centralized document that has all the call to actions, all the next steps. Make sure you do. And as you are, and another thing you should note is that as you are doing all of these things, you are putting the all your documents in the project tracker, you are scheduling meeting, you are putting the decisions, you are contact based and all of those things. One thing that you should know is that you should update as soon as possible. So let's say you are done with something, with a document or a project that is in the comprehensive document of the project tracker. Make sure you remove it. This is where project management tools come, because in project management you see to do, you see do, and you see done. So maybe you are on to do, and you've done it. To do, do, and done. Yes, that's it. And maybe if you are doing it, you move it to do. If you are done, you move it to done. So make sure if you are still writing, it might take a lot, but you can use any of the project management tools to actually achieve that. To achieve that. 90% of executive VAs find success. But mastering executive support systems, tools, and documentation enhances productivity and operational excellence, allowing VAs to execute their roles with confidence and precision. Need I explain this? So, system mastery complete. So now we are done. We've mastered the tools, the tech, stack, systems. We've spoken about workflows. We've spoken about standard operating procedures. We've spoken about, Google Workspace, communication to project management tools, CRM, basic tools. We've spoken about all of those things. And I want you to remember that mastery comes with practice. So all of the link I'll be attaching to everything that I have said that will help you, understand better and further. Please make sure you go through it. Mastery comes with practice. So please embrace every opportunity to implement what you have learned. And Excel has an executive virtual assistant. I can't wait to celebrate you or congratulate you on, you landing your first client as an executive VA. So that will be all for today. So congratulations on successfully completing the week 2 of the Executive Virtual Assistant training. If you found this training helpful, make sure you like, comment, and share with your friends that are interested in becoming an executive virtual assistant. While doing that, don't also forget to turn on the notification bell so that you can get timely updates when videos are posted on this channel. So without wasting too much of our time, see you in the next class. That's week 3. Bye for now.